So you help me, huh?
Hi everybody. Hey, I got Danny back here. We're gonna do an English version of this video here, and we're gonna try to talk about the U.S. stock market, go through his system in terms of what it's showing in different time frames. We're also gonna start talking about maybe, in terms of what global liquidity is doing, and maybe looking at his instruments to see if we can find out how we can look at what Bitcoin is doing, which is probably going to be the best indicator for global liquidity. So yeah, Danny, the floor is
Yes.
yours. This is the weekly
So
chart.
first of all, thank you very much for having me here. And I have to say good morning and also good evening at the same time because we have different types of followers from around the world.
Yeah, we're doing double the work and trying to do Cantonese and English here for y'all. So
Yes.
you're welcome.
Okay. So yeah. So we have switched back to English.
Yeah,
So I
so
will try to speak slowly so that people can understand my English.
you're fine. Go for it, man.
No, thanks. My English is not good enough. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay,
so
so how should we start?
I mean, I think we're talking about the S&P 500.
Yes.
Basically, what we're seeing, we think that things are turning bullish, and I think that a lot of the worries about like sell in May and go away was not really warranted. And this is also showing up in your system as well. So we can go through the weekly chart and monthly chart. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So first of all, let's take a look at the weekly chart. So you will find the red candle, which appeared probably a couple of weeks ago. Okay, so can you just
Yep.
point out, yeah, highlight that red candle?
Yep.
So actually, it appeared last week. Okay, am I correct? Yes,
Yep.
last week. So because it's the weekly chart. Okay, so the red candle is something which we like to see because it's pleasing to our eyes, you know. So whenever we find the red candle, we are excited. But at the same time, okay, do you think it's a good time to buy SPY or QQQ based on the red candle? So sometimes one signal is not good enough, you know. So we need multiple indicators to for this confirmation bias. So in panel one, we have the red candle. So red candle, everybody knows it is bullish. And if you go down to panel two, so what have you noticed? Um, just corresponding to the red candle, we will find the green bar changed to red. So another indication of the bullish signal. Okay, and if you get down to the next panel, the well accumulation, it has been on the steady increase. So I like this trend because it's steady, it's low, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's stable because you know when things are very slow and steady, so actually the momentum is just picking up. Okay, and if you get down to the last two panels, so we have the MACD and also RSI, both yes, both technical indicators are leaning bullish as well because both of them are carrying up. They are carrying to the upside. So based on these five indicators,
Mhm.
so they look very bullish to me, at least. Okay, so and how reliable is the red candle? Okay, so that's why we have to check. Um, is trend. So can you just help me to point
Like
second last red
yeah, the
candle?
previous rectangle in the blue
Yes,
ribbon. Yeah, I'm
yes,
pointing it
in
right
panel
now.
one.
Yep.
Okay, so in panel one, the previous red candle appeared in the middle of the blue ribbon. So everybody knows that the blue ribbon is an indication of the downtrend. Okay, however, the red candle, as I have said, is pleasing to our eyes. We all love to see it, and actually, looking back, it has been accurate. So anyway, let me just say something about this candle. So it appeared in the 10th of January because can't see the exact dates. So that's why I have to provide a more exact and accurate details to buttress or what I'm saying. So anyway, so back to that candle. So 10th of January 2025. in 23. Okay, so how long was that bull run?
Wait, you're talking, this is the weekly chart though, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So from January last year, am I correct? So let me double check.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. I gave the wrong information. It should be I'm sorry. So it should be 10th of November.
Yeah, 10th of November. That sounds about
2023.
right.
Yeah.
That sounds about
I'm
right.
sorry because the numbers are too small and I'm so old.
It's okay. You're 92 years old. We're grateful that you're doing this. So
I'm sorry. Okay, so thanks for reminding me. So, Mr. Cat is the most professional person that I have ever known in my life. So anyway, so from 10th of November to the yellow candle. So the recent yellow candle, which appeared on the 19th of April.
Yeah.
This year. So actually, the bull run lasts for let's say half a year. I'm correct. So we don't have to give the exact timing, but at least it lasts for half a year.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah, 6 months.
Exactly. Yeah, the bull run, as you can see from that red ribbon, is also very steep. Yeah. So yeah, and then we have the momentum, we have the whale accumulation. So we have everything, and the MACD. So the both lines are curling up. Okay, so we have all these indicators. So if history is going to repeat once again, so what do you think about this recent red candle? Is it going to last for half a year? So so half a year later, so it would be November.
Yeah.
This year. So is there anything important in November this year?
Yeah, November 5th. It's the elections.
Exactly. So
yeah.
yeah, it coincides with the re-election of the president. Okay, so anyway, just a coincidence, So
yeah,
we all want the historical pattern to repeat.
Yeah, the
Or at
whole
least
idea about like
to
selling
line
in May and go away, like that generally doesn't happen in election year because they just keep on wanting to print money because they want to win elections. So
Yeah.
it's everybody was just kind of getting scared when they're looking at this selling in April. They're really worried that there's going to be another leg down. A lot of people are talking about like an ABC downtrend where this is like just the A, kind of downtrend here in April, and you're going to have like a B bounce, and then C is going to go down a lot lower. A lot of people are saying that. I was like probably one of the few that's saying, I'm not so sure that's going to happen because everybody just got scared around October, November, or sorry, around like August to October of last year. They're saying that, oh, you're going to have like 2 or 3 licks down, but we end up just made an all-time high. So Danny, what do you make out of this sell candle over here recently that didn't really quite make it another lick down? Like, what do you say about that?
You mean the sell candle on the
Yeah,
weekly
we saw
chart
Kendall a few weeks ago. What do
or the okay, so yes, okay, so 3 weeks ago, okay, we found the yellow candle. So actually the yellow candle stayed in the middle of the red ribbon. Can you see that? Can you
Yeah.
just point out for me so the people
Yeah, it's
can
right there in the
understand what
smack in
I'm
the
talking
middle.
about?
Yeah.
Yes. So actually it didn't hit even the base of the red ribbon. Okay, so there are a few possibilities. So sometimes, as you know, when the candles are very high, when they spread out from the red ribbon too far away, so they would just come back to the tip, to the ends of the red ribbon. Okay, and sometimes they may touch the apex of the red ribbon, and sometimes they might just come down to the middle part of the red ribbon, and sometimes they might come down to the base. So we call them. So I would just interpret them as short-term pullback or corrections.
Yeah. And if you look at the monthly, you're not going to see these things, and we're going to show that here in a second too. So
Yes.
yeah, so this is probably just like a retracement because it's been going very, very bullish for about 6 months without even touching that ribbon.
And you will find that the candles, the last few candles, just hit about the price. Yes, the price of that yellow candle. So it was in the bearish yellow candles. So that's why we are quite confident about this bullish trend based on all these indicators from panel 1 to panel 5. So sometimes, one indicator doesn't mean anything. But if you have multiple indicators to show you the overall trend, so we feel confident of investing or trading. Okay, so you can just stay immune to all these market noises telling us that the bull cycle is over. Okay, so actually we focus on charts because there's no bias. Okay, so everything is rational.
And the better thing than a weekly chart too is even look at higher time frame. Like if I just show the monthly chart, it looks even more beautiful. Like there's actually minimal noise. Yeah.
So. Okay, so the monthly chart is really stunning. Everybody would be happy when they see lots of red bars in panel 3. So all these are well accumulation. So anyway, so sometimes I get asked, okay, when is the best time to sell the stock? Okay, so have you got any ideas on when is the best time to sell everything that you're owning?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's ever really I don't know. It's just my personal opinion. I don't think it's ever really like a good idea to sell everything. But if you're leveraged, if you are trying to deleverage, you're trying to find a way to kind of escape like a 20-30% downtrend, I think the monthly sell signal that you have is pretty darn good.
Yeah. So both of us are investors, so we are not traders. So we don't do daily trading. Okay. So, but in case there's a turnaround in the markets, because one day there will be a turnaround, even if not tomorrow or next week, we still have to keep track of the trend. So on the monthly chart, everybody knows that red candle means buy, means bullish, and yellow candles means sell or bearish. So that's why we have to keep a closer eye on the yellow candle. Can you just point out how highlights the last yellow candle in panel 1 for our followers?
Yep, it's right there.
Okay, so actually, once again, you can't see the exact timing, so that's why I have to check the timing. So give me just 10 seconds to focus on the date.
Yeah, I think it was February 2022. Yeah.
See, Mr. Cat is really professional. He's even faster than me. I'm an old man, and you're the young guy who knows everything.
I'm only 2 years. I'm a 2-year-old cat, so I'm pretty young. Anyway, yeah. So I think it's February. That's when it signaled, and I think it was like in the 450s when the
450s.
Yeah, when the all-time high was like around the
468 in January 2022.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually the signal is that you don't sell at the very top. However, you can still sell in the top range.
Yeah.
And when you follow the yellow candle, for example, yellow candle means sell. So if you just follow the yellow candle religiously, so you can really avoid the bearish market, which was coming.
Yeah.
And remember, the lowest price of SPY was around 343.
Yeah.
In October.
Yep.
2022.
Yep.
Okay, so actually you can totally avoid the bearish market.
Yep.
And even though, for example, you don't know how to identify the yellow candle, don't worry. Just get down to panel 2. So what have you noticed?
Yeah, the red turned green.
Red bar. Yeah. Yes, the red bar turns green. So this is another indicator. And if you go down to the wealth accumulation, so actually the wealth accumulation doesn't tell you much about this bearish story. However, you will find there was a steady decrease of wealth accumulation.
Yeah.
And the MACD, which you told me is a lagging indicator.
Yeah, it's
however, it's still accurate in predicting the trend, because there's a so we don't call it golden cross. So there's a term, death cross, right?
Yeah, death cross.
Death cross. So anyway, so it was just 1 month later than what the yellow candle appeared in panel 1. So let me check the price of that death course. So SPY was doing like $405.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could, so for example, imagine if you didn't sell at 450, so would you sell at 400?
Yeah, most people probably wouldn't. They'd be like, it's yeah,
Yeah.
just let it ride. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's a delay indicator. It's probably not.
Yeah.
I think your sell signal here is probably your best bet. Like even from the previous sell signal, it looks pretty good. And the buy
Yes.
signal,
So last
it's
time we talked about the Nvidia
yeah,
sell signal, and this time we talk about SPY
yeah.
sell signal
Like you're
on the
not gonna
monthly
time
chart.
the exact top. You're not gonna time the exact bottom,
Exactly.
but you're gonna miss the
I
like
think
you're
I
not
think
gonna
nobody has ever sold at the very top.
yeah. You don't
Yeah,
need
but
to, right?
still, if you could sell in the top range, I would just
Yeah.
say that you are very smart. You are brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say so too. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, this system's actually pretty accurate in
you are a
terms of
smart cat.
detecting.
You are a smart cat. So that's why you have to keep reminding us when to sell. Of course, I will
Well,
give the signals
I,
to my followers.
it's like I don't need to. Just look at your stuff. Anyway, like there are a couple of things
So
that
actually, we need to tell people when to sell. Okay,
I I,
because
I think it'll be a
I
good
think
idea. Yeah, I think it'll be a good
yes,
idea. We can see like a
yeah.
monthly sell signal. We need to know
Mm.
about it. You know,
Mm.
you,
You contribute a lot by telling people about these buy signals. So you know what I mean. So next time we have to tell people all these sell signals.
yeah. And we're not seeing any signs for that quite just yet. But like right now
Yeah,
the
for the time being,
momentum is still
no
up.
sell signal.
Yeah, and the wells are still going up, the MACD is still crawling up. So
Exactly.
one way you can play this, I guess you can either just like, buy SPY or sell SPY, depending on these buy and sell signal. If
Mm.
you want to play like leverage, there are these like instruments
Yeah.
where you can play like 2x or 3x. 2x would be like
Mm.
SSO, would be the 2x of SPY. You want to do 3x would be, SPXL. These are 3x. They are a little bit dangerous though if you just keep on holding them. For example,
Mm.
if you're holding the 3x version, the SPXL, there are a couple of things. One is if you like would have bought like the top over here around January of 2020, yeah, 2022, you're still not make it back yet, right? Like you're still not reaching
Mm.
its all-time high yet because there's decay. Because for example,
Mm.
if SPY like dropped 20% and your SPXL dropped like 60, 70%, it's gonna take a lot more. Like you actually need to go up like 100 something percent before you can reach the all-time high, whereas like SPY just needs to go up maybe like 25% and kind of reach back to his previous all-time high, right? So that's the problem. If you end up staying in these kind of financial instruments or you don't sell, you're gonna end up losing money if there's a big giant downtrend like that, right? So to play, if you want to do these kinds of things, I'm not saying you should.
Mm.
I personally, I'm playing SSO. I'm doing the 2x version. I'm not doing the SPXL because the SSO, like you already made back to all-time high if you would have just held on because the decay is not that great.
Mm.
But it helps you to have these kind of like sell and buy signal if you want to play that and maximize the bull market. I'm not saying that you should. None of this is like financial advice, but
Mm.
I do have like a percentage of my portfolio that's being in SSO because I do see this being a bull trend, right? Um,
Mm. So
one,
so long as
yeah,
this is a bullish trend, the
yeah,
winner can take it all.
yeah. I mean, like you just look at these like beautiful buy signal and sell signal that Danny has. Like
Mm.
if you just follow these, I think you can potentially capture a majority of the bull market. Even those are meant to be like daily instruments. Those are meant for like day traders. But like to be completely honest, if you just follow the trend, I think you might be able to take
Mm.
advantage of it potentially.
Yeah, trend
I'm
is
not
our
saying
best friend.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying I'm doing it, but I'm not saying you should. Like for example, SSO, I was buying like my average right now is like in like the low 50s because I bought
Congratulations, cats. Yeah.
I know like I bought like right around here, right? So I've been just buying. And then
Yeah.
right now I'm like really kind of slow down on buying on that. And right now like the price is like in the high 70s. So
Mm.
it's a good financial instrument if you want to buy the low part of it and you want to ride the potential bull trend. I bought even before this buy signal was here. Before this buy signal was here, I was catching a falling knife, but I was doing it. And
Mm.
and I do want to see when your sell signal come. I think I will end up deleveraging and I would end up, just maybe not getting out the market completely, but I would deleverage from like 2x to maybe 1x and ride any potential downtrend, or maybe even save some cash. But these are some pretty, important signals that I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Anyway, nice place.
Yeah, no, these are awesome. Like the one thing though, if you follow just the SSO, like the 2x or the SPXL 3x, you do have like a lot noisier signals that you see. You see like a sell signal in October on both the SSO and SPXL that you did not see on the SPY. So I think it's probably better to follow the sell and buy signal on the underlying asset rather than these leveraged financial instruments. But I thought it was interesting, like to thank you for sharing these charts with me.
Welcome.
Yeah, you want to talk about Bitcoin?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to show you your chart
Everybody's
here
interested in
for
Bitcoin.
IBIT. Yeah, so go for it, man. What do you see on the daily chart of
Yes.
IBIT, and what is IBIT?
What is this ticker once again? IBIT, am I correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so can you just give me 10 seconds? Let me run the
1,
chart.
2,
Okay.
3,
Yes.
4. No, okay.
I'm here.
Well,
okay, so let's
yeah.
let's keep a closer eye on the daily chart of IBIT. So what have you seen? Let's go through
Well,
the
the
chart panel by
rationale that
panel.
you're doing IBIT is because your system doesn't do cryptocurrency.
Yes, unfortunately, my system
Yeah.
can't do Bitcoin, so that's why I have to find some proxies. And I think that miners may not be the best reflection or the proxies of Bitcoin, because miners are too volatile, so they don't actually sometimes, or especially in recent times, they don't just follow the exact price actions of Bitcoin. So that's why I pick IBIT as one of the proxies. Okay, so let's go back to the chart. So in panel one, so what have you seen? I saw a red ribbon information.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether you could see it from the charts that I sent to you.
Yeah,
yes,
I'm
very good.
circling it
Okay.
right now. Yeah, you can see
okay, very good. Okay, so
Yep.
first of all, I like two things in panel one. First of all, the blue ribbon is tightening. So tightening is good because it means that the downtrend probably might stop very soon. And second, I saw the red ribbon in formation. So this might signal the start of bullish trend. Okay, so these two signals are quite obvious to me. And if you get down to panel two, you will find that the trend line. So we have two things in panel two: the bar, the green bar, and the red bar, and also the trend line. So as I have talked about last time, so we find that the trend line is purple, which is bullish, and also we find the red bars, which are also bullish. So the second signal, and the next panel, the whale accumulation has been on steady rise.
Yeah.
Even though it's very slow.
Yeah.
But still, we find that the trend is not bearish at all, especially when all the green bars in the last bar, the green bars has disappeared.
Yeah.
Okay, so remember one of our rules and regulations is that the stock will soar when all the green bars disappear.
Yeah.
So it's much easier for the whales to push up the price.
Yeah.
And if you get down to the fourth panel, so golden cross was quite successful because of because it's carrying up, and also RSI, which means bullish as well. So all the five indicators show signs of bullishness.
Yeah.
And yeah, even without the system, if you just take a look at the candle patterns, you will find the inverse head and shoulder.
Yeah.
Can you find it? So I think the IBIT is very similar to Bitcoin because if you look at the chart of Bitcoin, it's also doing the inverse head and shoulder. So can you remember the exact price action of this head and also the left and right shoulders of Bitcoin? As far as I remember, I try to remember all these figures, even though I'm very old. Just correct me if I make mistakes. I remember that the head is around 56K, and the left and right shoulder is in the range of 64 to 65K.
Yeah.
So if you try to apply all all these patterns, the inverse head and shoulder, onto the chart of RBIT, we find the exact pattern, inverse head and shoulder. So for the inverse head and shoulder to play out, it could be, it could be unsuccessful. Of course, it can be very successful. So what I focus on is the increase in wealth accumulation. So I saw the steady increase in wealth accumulation to support this technical analysis, inverse head and shoulder. So the more wealth, of course, the better. And of course, that would lead to the success of this play out of our inverse head and shoulder.
And if Bitcoin's doing well, like global liquidity, they're going up, and
can you just help us to check the price action of Bitcoin now? So how much is it doing now?
I don't want to. I'm too lazy to switch, but I do want to take a look at MSTR, because I think that's
please.
Very closely correlated with that too. Exactly. And MSTR is very, very bullish as well, based on your system.
Yes, based on my system, and also if you try to compare with all the miners, I think MSTR is really doing exceptionally well. And first of all, in panel 1, so you find a similar pattern, because it really corresponds to the price actions of Bitcoin, the inverse head and shoulder in play. And also the system has one more beautiful thing: the red ribbon is being formed. You find the brand new ribbon. And sometimes, the red ribbon can't successfully unfold, probably because of a lack of an increase in retail accumulation, which is the last thing we want to see. But anyway, so back to MSTR charts here. So we found the red ribbon once again. It's just information. It's just brand new. So probably there's a huge upside based on what I observed. And the second panel, you will find the purple line. The trend line is still purple. It actually was back to purple a few days ago, from green to purple. And if you get down to the next panel, you will also find a steady increase in the wealth accumulation, and also a significant reduction of retail accumulation. And fourth and fifth channel, of course, they support the bullish pieces.
They all look very good. I mean, I just also want to add that, I've made a few videos too, one of them with, the Great Masby. Last weekend, we basically were looking at the chart. We're saying that looked like the even like a week ago, before all this stuff, like we were just looking at the chart. We're like, the candle formation, all the formation in terms of like Gantt theory, in terms of Ishimoku cloud, in terms of everything. It looks like Bitcoin is gonna probably go up from here, when a lot of people are worried it's gonna go down to like 52K or 48K. To me and to Matt, like we're looking at that, and we just really
there was too much market noises.
Like people were scared, and we were just more more bullish, and like sure enough, that turns to be playing out, right? Another thing that people are worried about is whether or not we have topped on Bitcoin. And
so if you
like we're gonna show like your weekly and monthly chart, I think, to dispute that, right?
And
then
so
then also
if you miss Cat's video about Bitcoin bottoming out, so you have to go back to the YouTube channel and watch once again. And Mr. Cat gave 10 reasons why Bitcoin was bottoming out.
And then also, the top 10 reasons why I don't think this cycle is over yet either. There are a lot of indicators
for your insights.
There are a lot of indicators that I look at, and I do want to show like Danny's indicator for MSTR, and that tells us, I'm going to show the weekly chart. I'm also going to show the monthly chart too. I do want Danny to kind of go through in terms of what he thinks. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to the weekly chart here for MSTR. So go ahead.
Yes, please. Okay. So wow, the weekly chart is really bullish. Okay, from when to when? So let me check the dates. From 10th of February last year. Wow. I don't see any blue ribbon on the weekly chart. Really even though it's highly volatile, Okay, so back to the candle. Okay, so you will find that let's see, the yellow candle. Okay, so the yellow candle is still with us. for the time being. But I think that it would disappear. It would be engulfed. It would be engulfed very soon if the price actions of Bitcoin or MSTR are positive next week.
Yeah.
But if you get down to panel 2, you will find that yes, there's a change in the color of the bar from green to red, from bearish
Yeah.
to bullish.
Yeah.
Okay, and I like the whale accumulation. Okay, hitting around 84%. Okay,
Yeah.
which is quite heavy. It's really well heavy rather than retail heavy. So
Yeah.
for example, for some fintechs or Tesla, so they are retail heavy for the time being. But for MSTR, it looks bullish. And even if you get down to panel 4, I can't see any golden cross, but I think it's on the verge of forming
Yeah.
a golden cross. Yeah.
It's coming.
And yes, and RSI just did a curl up dance.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It looks like it's going. I think the sell signal is probably going to reverse, especially if you look at the
Yes.
penalty.
Yeah.
penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If next week because is doing well, I'm sure that MSTR and most miners, yeah,
Yeah.
they could do they could do well as well.
Yeah, and I'm gonna show you, like, you're gonna get these kind of cell signal noises here on a weekly because you simply have prices went way too far away from the red ribbon, and you have to
Yeah.
backtest. And when it does, sometimes the noise comes and gives you a sell signal. But if you look at the monthly is like
Yes,
absolutely
monthly.
beautiful. Like there's almost
Okay.
like no noise for really like the entire few years of MicroStrategy chart that you're showing here. So yeah, I mean it's amazing. Danny, you want to talk about it?
The monthly chart.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see. So first of all, can you see the last red candle in panel 1
Yes.
on the monthly chart?
Yes.
Yeah,
Underneath
somewhere,
the blue
right,
ribbon right
yes,
there.
underneath the blue ribbon, and also once
Yeah.
again, it's somewhere in the middle, in the middle of the blue ribbon.
Yeah.
So let me check the date and to see how these candles performed at the
Yeah.
time. So actually, that red candle appeared on 28th. So around, so because I can't give the exact timing, I'm too old to look at all these small numbers. But anyway,
I'm gonna
I just
try to look down. I think it's probably either
yes,
February or
in
March. It's either
February,
February or March. Yeah.
February
Yeah.
last year, when it was trading like $262. Oh my
Yeah.
God, um, to $300. Okay,
Yeah.
so imagine how many you, you have been making if
Yeah.
you bought once the red candle um 5x, almost
Yeah.
5x. Okay, isn't that at all,
Yeah.
and what about the wealth accumulation? So let's check the recent one. So the last bar.
Yeah.
So what I would like to focus on is the third panel.
Yeah.
Almost 90%, 90.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very, very, very impressive.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing is that there's no green bar on the
Yeah.
monthly chart. And if you check the historical trend
Yeah.
of the chart, when there's no green bar, the stock is soaring, is surging.
Yeah.
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 So
Even
we can't
previous
remember,
cycle.
we can't bet
Yeah.
against the trend. So we
Yeah.
have to ride the trend we are given. Um, the whales create for us. You know what I mean? So anyway,
Yeah.
remember, why are people losing money? Because they try to bet with their own conviction. And
Yeah.
remember, all these convictions mean nothing
Yeah.
in the real market. So that's why we have to trade in the trend that we are given.
Yeah.
And this is the lesson. This was the takeaway for my
Yeah.
painful lessons 2 years ago.
Yeah. The
So I
trend
don't
is
want I just don't want anybody to miss this lesson. I just don't want any misfortune things happen to poor retail investors. So
I'm gonna
learn my lesson. Okay, learn to appreciate the trend we are given, and don't bet against the trend. And I'm sure that you will be a very good uh, investor.
Yeah, the biggest problem with having conviction is as the bull market keeps on going higher and the price keeps on going higher,
Mhm.
the more conviction people are gonna have. So,
Exactly.
and at some point, like the party will end because you're gonna run out of money buying in, and the cycle is gonna be over. But I don't think it's over yet. Like just looking at everything that you're seeing here, I think we're probably maybe around midway in terms of
Yeah.
like how far we're going. And also, like, if you look at the last cycle, it's completely different. Like the last cycle, you have like 6 months straight of just going way up, like way outside of the red ribbon. Whereas this cycle,
Mm,
like we have a few months, and then 1 month just kind of or like one a couple of months just kind of way outside, and we're getting punished for it so far. We went
mm,
sideways for about 2 or 3 months to wait for the red ribbon to kind of catch up, as opposed to just going bam, 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 and just go like way outside in space, just get all the bulls completely exhausted, and there's no more bullish energy left. And next thing you know, it just went sideways for like a year, and then it just boom, just went down. Right? I don't think
mm,
that's the case right now. I think we're actually kind of doing what we need to do to cool down, get closer to the red ribbon a few months ago. And for the month of April, I think it was more like a correction, just kind of get a little bit closer to the red ribbon because they're just
oh
more excited.
yes, yeah. So we have to say in Cantonese, I share this saying with you. So I have to refresh my memory. Sorry, I need to switch back to Cantonese. Um, 五同六絕七翻身. Am I correct?
I
Okay,
think
so
so.
we have the English version as well. Sell in May.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so I
yeah,
think sell
yeah,
in May isn't valid. Yeah, this year
yeah,
at least,
yeah. I
especially
mean,
in an election year.
yeah. When everybody says so in May, then usually it's like
Exactly. So
and these things don't really
and
apply during a bull trend. Like this is a very obvious bull trend, and there's not
mm,
really any key signs for exhaustion quite just yet because whales just came back. Like there are no retails left, right? So
mm,
yeah, there's not really any like, and I can show like I've also done like MSTR video probably about once every week or
yes.
so, and I've also like looked for signs for traditional technical analysis, look for signs for exhaustion. I'm not really seeing it, so I think the trend's probably going to continue.
Okay, thanks a lot, Kat, for sharing your insights. Okay,
Yeah,
so
no,
we now
thanks.
feel very confident. But
Yeah,
anyway, I have to remind myself not to be overconfident. Otherwise, if the
it's
cycle,
important, but
sorry,
on the other hand, you have a very, very good system. Like look at the buy signal from last cycle and
yes,
the sell signal
yeah.
from last cycle. Look at the
I
buy
try
signals.
I try not to be overconfident,
Yeah.
because every time I feel very overconfident,
Mhm.
the cycle just ends all of a
Yeah.
sudden.
Well, you have to have a confluence of supportive evidence, right? So
Yes,
I would never just believe in one system.
yes,
I would look
exactly.
into different considerations, and as the market cycle keeps going up higher, it's probably a better idea to deleverage. If you're using any like leverage instruments, it's probably
Mm.
better to deleverage anyway. But I think we probably, if I had to make my best guess, I think we'd probably stay in the middle of it. So
But anyway, so for the time being, we have multiple indicators,
yep,
my system, and also your TA, your technical analysis,
yep,
arising from Ichimo cloud,
yep, yep.
yeah,
So
and also
yeah,
other indicators. So at least we have multiple indicators
yep,
to show that the bullish cycle is still with us.
that's right. All
Yeah.
right. Well, Danny, thank you. I think time is
Thanks
starting
a
to
lot.
run out.
Yeah.
So
So
we
thanks a
we
lot for your valuable feedback, Cats.
always enjoy talking with you.
Yes, me too. My pleasure. Even though my English is not good enough.
What
So
wonderful, wonderful talk again. Thank you so much. Have a good
thanks
one.
a lot. Okay. Okay. Much
Yep.
appreciated. Thanks a
Yep.
lot,
Bye.
Mr. Cat. Bye bye.
Bye, Danny.